This video content is not intended for children.
Welcome back to Realistic Fishing. Well, you're not a realistic fisherman unless you have one of these laying around. This wonderful chandelier of fishing lures is the result of not keeping them all organized all the time. When you find yourself with a ball of lures like this, it's important that you have a few tools around to help undo the madness. Nail clipper, razor blade, pocket knife, scissors. You can learn a lot from a ball of lures like this. When I cut these free, I'll remember things about them like, why didn't I put it away? Did I find it? Was I in a hurry? And most importantly, did it catch fish? Let's sort out this mess and see what we learn and what we remember about realistic fishing. Well, right off the bat, I see a plastic worm. I caught many fish last year on plastic worm. I prefer dark, natural colors like green pumpkin and black or black and blue. Here's another lure I did very well on last year. Baby brush hog. I'm sure I'll give this one another try. I'm going for the low-hanging fruit here first. The soft plastic's hanging off the edge. Here we have a soft stick bait, or a Senko type bait, with a chartreuse tail. Caught a few bass last year on Senkos and soft stick baits. I'm sure I'll use those again this year. Here we go, H2O Express lipless crankbait in a ghost shad pattern. Pretty sure I caught a fish on this early last year. Good color here. Interesting lure. Let's cut this little piece of line off of here before we put it back in a tackle box. Good looking lure here. This is a keeper. These look used. Maybe I'll melt them down. Maybe I'll save them in a big stash to maybe make my own lures one day. I'm not sure. Wow, this popper's really in there good. There we go. This looks like a Blaze popper, right? Kind of a cheap popper here. It's only got one treble hook. Either I removed it for something else in a pinch, or it broke, or it bent out real bad. Not too sure. I can't quite remember. Let's cut the string off here. This is going in the needs repair for parts pile. So far I have 3 piles. Put back in the tackle, repair, junker, recycle. Here is a EWG rigged in a pack-a-craw with the dyed tips. I think that's what it is. I'm pretty sure I caught a big bass on something like this, maybe a 4-pounder, biggest of the year if you want to go back and check that out. The plastic is wrecked. The hook, still good, might need a little bit of sharpening, so we're going to put it in the salvage pile in the middle here. Just a little guy here. We got a size 8 bait hook. Gonna have a few of these smaller things mixed in. We got a really small jig here with a little wiggly tail on it. Right down in front of me I got a swivel. Super common barrel swivel. trying to get this topwater lure here free. A lot of people love this lure. I'm trying to get it out of here. It is definitely a rescue and put back in the tackle box kind of lure. Time for the razor blade. Whopper Plopper. This was sent into the show. This is the first Whopper Plopper I've ever used. Definitely caught a fish on this. If you want to go back and look through the videos, my first Whopper Plopper bass was on this one right here. Definitely a keeper. Alright, we got a topwater popper here. I'm not sure what brand it is. It's kind of another ghost pattern here. Got a nice dressed rear hook. I don't really remember catching one on this bait, but it's definitely a keeper. It's going to go back in the tackle box. Here we go. We got a pre-rigged Ned rig here. I think this is a Matsuo brand Ned rig. It comes pre-rigged, package of 3. I remember fishing it, but I don't think I caught anything. It is definitely salvageable and restockable. Here we have a Texas rig craw. Not exactly sure who makes this. Maybe Bruiser or something like that. Here we have a weight. Looks like I probably found this one. It's really beat up. But it's a salvage piece. Maybe I'll melt it down one day, make a lure. Here's a really, really small jig head. This is a really small jig. I think it's a crappie magnet or a mini crappie magnet, maybe even a mini trout magnet. Look at how it wiggles. I have caught fish on this before. I like these. Alright, we got a topwater bait here. It's like a buzz bait toad of some kind. I think it might be a Strike King. Someone out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a pre-packaged Strike King and you can buy it just like this. Might even come with a couple extra toads. That's a saver. Here we have a triple threat spinnerbait. This was sent to me by Jacob at Chaos Paddlers. I do have a video in my history catching a bass on this. Good lure, definitely a keeper. Man, sometimes this braid is a pain in the ass. Trying to cut it off these eyelets when the eyelet is sunken back in. What a pain in the ass. Anyway, here we have a topwater popper. Interesting color here. I don't recall catching anything on this particular one, but I was definitely out there trying it. Maybe a lunker hunt, I'm not sure. Definitely a keeper. Now we're getting to the heart of the matter here, and it is so tangled. When you got like braided line tangled in with your ball of lures, it can get hairy. Alright, we got a lipless crankbait here. I would guess it's a cotton cordell in a craw pattern. I may have caught a fish on this. Don't really recall though. Definitely a keeper. We're making a pretty good dent. Let's keep going. Alright, we got another lipless crankbait. Pretty sure this is a Rapala lipless crankbait. Got a shad pattern printed right on the side. Definitely caught a fish with this one. I can remember the video. The water's flooded. There's people around, kind of annoying. Definitely caught fish on this though. Good lure for sure. Got another topwater bait here. We got a Rebel Popar. I think this was sent into the show by Craig at Fishing with Lard Almighty. I definitely gave it a try. I don't remember if I caught anything. Definitely a keeper. Just go slow, take your time. You don't want to get hooked by anything. Here we have a Hettel tiny torpedo. Don't remember catching one on this. I was out there trying it though. Definitely a keeper. Here we got a Texas rig craw. This looks like a craw worm. This is an older lure. Looks more like a scorpion to me. I don't know if I ever caught one on video with it, but I do remember when I picked these up. Unfortunately, this one has holes in it. We'll see if I can sharpen the hook. Alright, here we have a chatterbait Kitech swim bait combination. This might be the one that I got my first ever chatterbait bass on. Might have to go back and re-watch it and see if this is the one. But I'm just starting to get into chatterbait fishing. I don't catch a whole lot, but it is fun to try, so this is definitely a keeper. Check it out, we got a dried up gulp minnow on a hook from a realistic rig. Here's one right on the edge. We got a wacky rig Senko. Did a bunch of wacky rig fishing last year. Got a bunch of bass. I'll definitely give this another try. Hook's still sharp. We're going to salvage that. One-aught weedless eagle claw. Good hooks here. Cheap, sharp, not the strongest. Good stuff. Alright, here we have a swim jig, once again with a Kitech trailer. I was out there trying it, but I don't remember getting any on this particular combination. Looks good though. I'll definitely save it in the tackle box. Getting down to the bottom here, mostly line now. Got another Texas rig brush hog style bait. I think this is the Strike King version. We'll salvage the hook. Here's another small hook just sitting here. Here we got a little blade bait. Looks really beat up. Hooks are bent. Eyes missing. I remember finding this one. I think I actually caught this one. It's the maybe pile. Got a little rooster tail type bait here. I think I found this one as well. We'll put that in the maybe pile. Got a little pre-rigged swim bait here. Kind of beat up, missing an eye. Here's some evidence of trout fishing. Got a little size 8 hook here with a mice tails on it. Power bait mice tails. Looks kind of like ice cream. I've definitely caught a fish on the mice tails before. Got a small 4-inch Texas rigged plastic worm. Hook looks good. Flinging stuff all over the place. Got a bullet weight here. Looks to be about 1/4 ounce. Here's a Ned rig head. I think this is the Z-Man Ned rig head. Now it looks more like a spider web full of hooks. Got one with some power bait or something on it. We'll just throw that one out. Got some squashed sinkers that are no longer usable. We'll just throw those out. Here's a decent circle hook. Let's see if we can salvage this. Circle hook. Here's a 3/0 worm hook. Let's see if we can get this one out of here. There we go. Good looking hook here. Salvage. The rest of this looks like small rusty hooks and pinch-on sinkers. We're just going to toss that into the garbage. Well, the ball of fishing lure laziness has now been sorted out. Got this pile of used plastics. I might melt that down. I might pitch. I'm not sure. Got a couple of weights. We got some hooks and stuff here that are probably worth saving, but they might need sharpening. Not too sure about those. But over here is the keeper pile. Bunch of poppers. We even had a whopper plopper in there, some buzz baits, some crankbaits. That's the good stuff. Thanks for watching me sort out this pile of fishing. It's always a good time going back through the lures I used last year, remembering what I caught, coming up with new strategies, and hoping for a better year this year. Anyway, thanks for watching Realistic Fishing. Keep it realistic. I gotta get this stuff in tackle boxes.